Good morning, guys. I'm very sorry for the delay in time or the change in time, but I've not been well. I was actually having a bit of fever today. Okay. But today we are connecting back to understand how to market manufacture for manufacturing companies. Okay. So we are going to be talking about manufacturing companies and how to do marketing for physical products. Okay. So guys, what happens is whenever you're doing a kind of other products like you can speak of any of the normal digital products. Okay, so you can speak about them. You can actually showcase them and properly explain them. But when it's a physical product, it's a very different ballgame, guys. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about physical products marketing or how could we go about with that. Okay, so guys, what happens when with physical products is you can actually showcase a lot more things than your normal digital products. Okay. So what do I mean by that? By that I mean basically you can kind of show how it is being manufactured every step by step. Okay. So imagine that you are in the business of ball bearing. Okay. You can share the kind of inputs of what is the kind of inside view of how ball bearings are actually coming to place. Okay, how they are actually checked, what is the kind of quality checks they go through, and kind of just so there's a lot of more steps than normal digital products, guys. Okay, so you can also kind of deep dive into the kind of what is the kind of you can speak of certifications and the kind of quality checks that you have to do internally. Okay, and why your ball bearings are actually the best. Okay, and guys, why your ball bearings are the best out here, you can also showcase the different ways that other ball bearings are in comparison with you. Okay, without actually naming any competitor, guys. Okay. You don't have to do that. Okay. Sorry. With that, guys, you can also showcase the place where the manufacturing actually happens. Okay, so the unit you can show the unit. You can show what how many people are actually working day in and day out. Okay. You can show their work logs. You can showcase a lot more just simple thing. Okay. So you can also do a lot more in-depth reviews. Okay. Or in-depth, you can actually invite your customers there. Okay. So what happens is usually when you are giving a digital product or something which is not physical. Okay. But what happens when you're giving a physical product is you can actually ask your customer to visit you. Okay. They can have a look around and they can see how it actually happens. Okay, what is the whole fun up behind that material? Okay, but guys, whenever it's a digital product, there doesn't much that you can showcase. Okay? All you can show is people sitting in front of screens and doing probably something. Okay, but that doesn't give the value. Okay, so when it's a physical product, the value is much higher because you can just if it is easily carryable, then you can actually take that material and show to the customer. Okay. But with digital products, that feasibility is not there. Okay. Guys, with all of these things, with Quora, with marketing, you can also start a Facebook channel there because guys, a lot of physical products are B2C. Okay. If your physical product is B2B, that's you would rather stay on LinkedIn than Facebook or any other channel. Okay, but if your physical product is B2C, then you would like to go out with a Facebook group. Okay. And Facebook guys, gives a lot more deep dive in the audiences who actually come to see you. Okay. You can actually decide your budget and you can run extended campaigns by selecting the particular audiences where you can just select what is the age, what is the kind of likes, dislikes, everything, affinity, kind of also with respect to the kind of audience requirement, what are they looking for, what group they have been a part of. You can select a lot more things, guys, and you can use the same kind of inputs even for your Instagram kind of campaigns as well. Okay. And what you can do is if you have a group as you might have met about 10 or 30 people who are there on a link or on some other event, guys. Okay. Now, what you can do is you can punch in their email IDs and you can ensure that they and everyone who link to them, in case they are in the same, kind of, you can say job structure, are getting the kind of inputs. Okay, so what I mean is, guys, those who are already your customers, you can use their email IDs to actually find more people who might be linked to them or interested with respect to them. Okay, and that can give you a very good, kind of audience for a ad campaign, guys. Okay, and this ad campaign you can do it for manufacturing because they are basically mostly people who actually buy from you. If you are a manufacturer, the people who are linked with the person or linked with the company are having a similar kind of requirement or need. Okay, so guys, that can actually help you in a big time because most of these guys are part of the same group or part of the same kind of audience background. Okay, with that, you can also look at a lot more, you can say a lot more deep dive into kind of what they are looking for. Okay, so guys, whenever you look at these particular people, okay, so imagine you are having the right set of audiences and you are having a Facebook page or probably a landing page where you are collecting this data. Guys, you can actually take this data out, push it back in Google, in Google Ads, where you are actually using it for retargeting ads. Okay, why do I say that? Okay. Google has the biggest retargeting network. Okay, Google Ads are shown on a lot of websites. Okay, so what you can do is you can ensure you set a budget and you bring them to the same landing page. Okay, now what happens when a person is actually just moving out on different sites? Okay, and he keeps seeing your ad. Okay, probably the first time he has ignored it. Probably the second time he has ignored it. The third time is like, why am I seeing this? Okay. He will not just take note of the ad, guys. He will also remember the kind of instance that this ad clicked with. Okay, and every next time he sees this ad, after every 5 or 10 days, imagine that you are running this ad just for this particular person who is actually seeing this. Guys, that will kind of build that kind of base for him ending up buying your product just to check you out. Okay. Because he's been consistently seeing your ads, guys. Okay. So that actually helps, guys. In manufacturing, it helps a big time because, guys, those who buy your product for once or twice, okay, believe me, they will keep on buying it from you as long as you do not go down on the quality of the product. Okay, mostly, guys, people who are in manufacturing industry will also agree to this that unless you compromise on quality or your standards, that's when you lose a customer in manufacturing. Okay, as long as that does not happen, guys, gaining a customer in manufacturing is much a harder job than actually retaining a customer. Okay, so I will definitely say have a very good, a very strong customer success team so that you keep on going back to your old customer, asking them if you can improve and they can come back. Maybe not right away, guys, but you never know that after a period of time they might also say yes, why not give it a try. Okay. Guys, these are people who have already liked your product. These are people who have already purchased and used your product for some time. Okay. So more than likely they will come back and they will check if you are much better or you are maintaining the quality now or not. Okay. And believe me, guys, they will kind of go with you. Okay. So guys, that was about manufacturing where you have a physical product. Okay. And what else can you do for manufacturing for a physical product? Guys, whenever you speak of manufacturing or any such kind of physical product, always remember that when there is a physical product involved, the people who are very close by, who might be your immediate audiences, okay, or close by companies or close by people. Okay. So at such a time, Google has its own Google Ads and Google you can say, uh, Google nearby places, Google places. Okay. Guys, ensure that your manufacturing unit or your offices are well pointed out in the Google Maps. Okay, and you ensure that you keep your timings and the place where you are actually selling updated. Okay, so imagine that you have a manufacturing unit in some place, okay, maybe in Maharashtra, okay, but you don't sell there. What where you sell is probably in Bangalore. Okay. So guys, when you are having such kind of placement for sales and manufacturing at separate locations, ensure that Google Maps shows both the places with perfect accuracy. Okay. So imagine that tomorrow someone else moves the cursor or something. You should be on it and you should move it back at your location without a without a minute to spare. Okay. Why? Because guys, whenever you have such a kind of unit, okay, imagine that tomorrow you have three separate units, okay, where you are having your main manufacturing done in Pune, your main office in Bangalore, your kind of sales office in Hyderabad. Okay, guys, ensure that you update all the locations. It does it, and it should show what the location is for. Okay, the same company, but the sales office, the head office, or you can speak of different things. Okay, but ensure that you have that obligation to update those locations. Okay, guys, it actually helps you in brand building as well. Okay, and what happens is whenever you have an updated location or an updated place, okay, tomorrow maybe I am interested in buying some ball bearings. Okay. I might not be your best customer, guys. Okay. But maybe I have a requirement, I buy it. Okay. And I go to some other place like Hyundai workshop where I show them the ball bearings and basically they say this can be used. Okay. Now guys, just because I have got in with a set of ball bearings for my car specific, and they have seen that the ball bearings are good. Maybe Hyundai might actually, this is just an example. Guys, okay? Maybe Hyundai might actually like, and because service guy says, ball bearings of this particular brand or this particular company was very good, and I've seen this person. Maybe Hyundai might actually come to talk to you and take that. Okay. So guys, what I mean to say by this is, do not discourage any customer. Okay. Observer walks in or observer wants to buy a certain thing, give it to them. Okay. At the same rate that you would have given it to any company or anyone. Okay. And wait for them to actually come back with a bulk order. Okay. Because guys, just by discouraging the customer, you might actually lose the chance of where the customer might actually kind of bring the value to you guys. Okay. So guys, that was about manufacturing kind of marketing. Okay. You can also guys deep dive into a lot of other places where you are one second. Okay. Before I actually go with everything and anything else, guys, I would also like to talk about thought leadership out here. Okay. So, guys, manufacturing, the biggest problem is that there is no thought leadership built up. Okay. So, imagine that you are manufacturing ball bearings, but your CEO or your a technical key person should be the person who should be heard most about why the perfect ball bearings make a lot more sense. Okay. What are the standards in ball bearings is what should be set by your leadership guys. Okay. And they should be regularly heard. Okay. So you should leverage on all keywords on and publish cornerstone articles guys. Okay. Now these cornerstone articles will kind of give you the kind of perfect what do you say platform to actually market your own products. Okay. And guys, you should actually be creating virtual tours and market your products with respect to all kinds of AR and VR and stuff. You should invest in that. Okay. Why? Because guys, this will help you and you gain a lot more audience very easily. Okay. So guys, what happens is manufacturing, the term manufacturing becomes mundane or becomes boring with a lot of people. Okay. But if you show the same manufacturing done in a very different kind of AR or VR kind of environment, guys, believe me, a lot of people will love to see that. Okay. So imagine that you're walking into a event that you went last year, and last year you didn't get as many people in your kind of place where you have actually put up your desk. Okay. Imagine this year you are having a AR and VR to support that kind of visibility to your product. Guys, believe me, everyone who comes to the event will first come to your store because they have heard that you are showing VR and AR kind of videos and stuff. Why? Because guys, this is immersive experience on for a manufacturing company which is least heard of. Okay. People will come to check what is this about. At least once will check. They might not be a kind of audience who will buy everything. Okay. But believe me, there's a lot more sales just happening because of walk-in clients with AR and VR experience for manufacturing companies. Okay. So guys, believe me, trust, trust me when I say this. But have a VR or AR kind of audience, just have that embedded in your systems, okay, where you are actually showing any person who is walking in even in your company, okay, the same video that you showed during an event, use that same experience out here at your office as well, okay. Believe me, you will have a lot more sales even with people who are walking with AR and VR kind of experiences being shown, okay. And with all of this, guys, also have humanize your brand. Okay, so maybe you will have lot more. You can speak of machines which are actually doing your work. Okay, machines which are actually manufacturing something for you. Okay, ball bearings for you. But guys, humanize even those machines. Okay? You have to explain why even those machines are actually going to be are critical for this. Okay, and you have to ensure that you are consistent, persistent, and practical in your approach. Okay, so you have to explain to the customer how you have improved. Okay, guys. So what I mean is how you have improved is you actually show the timeline for even the manufacturing company how it's grown. Okay. So how you started off, what were you manufacturing then, what are the improvements that you brought back in ball bearings? Okay. So maybe you're doing just ball bearings. Maybe nothing improves in ball bearings. But you have to explain what is the thought process behind these ball bearings, guys. Okay. So that kind of thought leadership work or thought leadership videos or articles is what you will have to work upon. Okay. So guys, things do not improve or update, do not go high five unless you are ready to give that thought process to that. Okay. You have to explain why this has actually improved or how this actually is kind of the thing for even the future generations. Okay. So imagine that I speak of ball bearings. So I will explain how the ball bearings are there and how they are actually the best technologies even now, okay, and even for the future. Okay. So guys, you have to keep yourself updated with the latest scientific tech as well. Okay. So imagine that tomorrow someone says, these are self-oiling ball bearings. So you have to explain why your ball bearings are better when compared with even self-oiled ball bearings, or what makes them so different, or what makes them so unique. You should have even the best technology guys has flaws. Okay, it has its own. You have to understand that. You have to write about and you have to explain why you are still the best. Okay, when you are considered or when you are competitor is getting better than you.